Imagine you're alone at home, sitting peacefully, when suddenly, without warning, you feel an intense pressure in your chest. Your breath shortens, your heart races, and the room starts to spin. It feels like a ton of bricks is pressing down on your chest, but you can't move. Panic sets in and your mind begins to race. Is this it? Am I having a heart attack? The fear of the unknown takes over and you realize you're on your own. The clock is ticking and every second counts. Will you know what to do when every minute could mean the difference between life and death? This is the reality many seniors face, and far too often, the signs of a heart attack go unnoticed or ignored. But the truth is, your quick response could mean the difference between surviving or not. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk you through the 7 critical steps that could save your life in the moments right after a heart attack begins. These simple, easy-to-remember actions can make all the difference in an emergency. Don't wait until it's too late. Your life may depend on it. 1. Recognizing the early signs of a heart attack, the subtle indicators. When most people think about a heart attack, they imagine a dramatic scene, suddenly experiencing intense chest pain, unable to breathe, and feeling like something heavy is crushing their chest. However, the reality is that a heart attack doesn't always present itself this way. Especially for seniors, the early signs can be much subtler, and these mild sensations are often dismissed as something else. The subtle signs of a heart attack. 1. Pressure or tightness in the chest. One of the most common yet subtle early signs of a heart attack is a feeling of pressure or tightness in the chest. It might not necessarily be sharp pain, but more of an uncomfortable sensation, as if something heavy is sitting on your chest or your chest is being squeezed. It's not a sudden, sharp pain, but more of a dull ache or pressure that may come and go. Many people mistake this for indigestion or heartburn, especially when the sensation fades after a short while. However, if the feeling persists or keeps coming back, it should not be ignored. 2. Shortness of breath without a clear reason. Shortness of breath is another subtle symptom that can signal a heart attack. Even without chest pain, you may find yourself suddenly out of breath, as if you had just climbed a hill, even when you're sitting still or doing nothing strenuous. For older adults, this symptom is often dismissed as simply part of aging, but it can be an indication that the heart is struggling to get enough oxygen to the body. 3. Pain radiating to the arm, shoulder, neck, or jaw. Sometimes, the pain might not be in the chest at all. Instead, it may radiate to the left arm, shoulder, neck, or jaw. This discomfort might feel like an ache or a dull pain, not sharp or intense, but it's important to pay attention to these areas. It's easy to confuse this type of pain with muscle aches or joint issues, but if it appears suddenly and isn't explained by physical activity, it's crucial to take it seriously. 4. Dizziness, nausea, and cold sweats. Dizziness and nausea are less commonly known symptoms of a heart attack, but they can certainly occur, particularly in the early stages. You may feel faint, lightheaded, or like you're going to pass out. In some cases, especially with women or older adults, cold sweats or a sudden feeling of nausea might accompany a heart attack. These symptoms can be easy to overlook, but are very important to recognize early on. 5. Unexplained fatigue or weakness. Fatigue or extreme weakness is one of the more subtle signs, particularly for older adults. You may feel exhausted or as though you have no energy, even after minimal exertion or rest. This is not the usual tiredness after a busy day, but a deeper, unexplained feeling of fatigue that can persist for days. If you suddenly feel like you can't get through daily tasks without feeling extremely drained, this could be an early warning sign of a heart attack, especially if it's paired with any of the other symptoms listed above. 6. Pain in the stomach or back. Especially for women or older individuals, a heart attack may present itself with pain in the back or stomach, rather than the classic chest pain. This pain can feel like discomfort in the upper stomach or a dull ache in the back, and it's often mistaken for indigestion or a stomach issue. Oh, these atypical symptoms are particularly important to note because they can be easily dismissed as something else, making it more difficult to recognize the onset of a heart attack. Richard, 74 years old, had always led a healthy lifestyle. He didn't smoke, and he walked regularly. One morning, while sitting at the kitchen table, he suddenly felt a tightness under his collarbone, which he thought might be heartburn. However, he couldn't take a full breath, and his hands started to sweat. Remembering that not all heart attacks start with severe pain, Richard decided not to ignore the symptoms. He called 911 immediately. That decision, although it seemed like a simple one, may have saved his life. If Richard had brushed off the feeling as nothing serious, he may not have gotten help in time. It's a reminder that the body often whispers before it screams, and if we don't listen carefully to those early warnings, it could be too late to act. As you can see from Richard's story, subtle signs of a heart attack aren't always obvious, and they often don't come with the intense chest pain that many expect. However, recognizing these signs early on gives you the best chance at survival. The earlier you can identify these symptoms, the quicker you can act to get the help you need, reducing the chances of serious damage to your heart. The key is to listen to your body and not dismiss even the smallest signs of something being off. The next time you experience any of these subtle symptoms, whether it's a slight discomfort, fatigue, or shortness of breath, stop what you're doing and take action. Your life may depend on it. Have you ever experienced one of these subtle symptoms? How did you react, and what did you do about it? Do you know anyone who may have missed these early warning signs? Share their story with us in the comments. It's crucial to remember that the body doesn't always scream for help when something serious is happening. Instead, it often whispers through subtle sensations, and only by paying attention can we respond quickly. If you experience any of these early signs, don't ignore them. Even if they seem small or unrelated, they could be your body's way of telling you something is wrong. Recognizing these symptoms early and acting quickly can be the difference between life and death. So listen to your body, take every sign seriously, and always remember, you are never powerless when you know what to look for. 2. Immediate action, calling emergency services. Once you suspect that you may be having a heart attack, the very next step you must take, without hesitation, is to call 911. It sounds simple, but many people hesitate or delay calling for help, thinking that maybe the symptoms will pass or that it's nothing serious. But when it comes to a heart attack, waiting can be one of the most dangerous things you can do. Why calling 911 immediately can save your life. Calling emergency services immediately is the fastest and most effective way to get the help you need. When you call 911, the trained professionals on the other end of the line are already getting prepared to assist you. They'll send an ambulance equipped with life-saving equipment, medication, and skilled personnel who can stabilize your condition if needed. By calling 911 right away, you're ensuring that help is on the way even before it arrives at your door. You give paramedics the time to be ready and act quickly when they get there. What happens if you wait too long? The longer you wait, the greater the risk of severe damage to your heart muscle. During a heart attack, the heart muscle is being starved of oxygen, and the sooner it gets help, the better the chances of reducing permanent damage. But here's the thing. If you're trying to drive yourself to the hospital or waiting for the symptoms to go away, you're risking your life. Many people feel like they can tough it out or try to wait for the pain to subside. However, trying to drive while having a heart attack can be disastrous. You could lose consciousness, cause an accident, or delay your own care, making the situation worse. Calling for help gives you the best chance of survival. It might feel uncomfortable to dial that number and admit you're scared, but it's the most important step you can take. Let's take Linda's story. Linda, 78 years old, was doing some light housework one afternoon when she suddenly felt a sharp pain in her left shoulder. A wave of nausea followed, and she broke into a cold sweat. She felt dizzy and slightly out of breath. At first, she thought she might be overreacting. It could be just a muscle strain or maybe something minor. But then she remembered a conversation she'd had with a nurse a few years ago. The nurse had said, "If you ever feel like you're having a heart attack, don't wait to call someone. Call 911 first. Talk to your family later." Linda didn't hesitate. She immediately called 911. The dispatcher walked her through the symptoms and made sure she was stable while help was on the way. By the time the ambulance arrived, Linda's symptoms had worsened, but she was already in good hands. That phone call saved her life. You don't have to be 100% sure that it's a heart attack. If you have the symptoms or suspect something's wrong, it's better to err on the side of caution and call for help. The dispatcher won't be upset if it turns out to be something else. They'd rather send help when it's not needed than risk you waiting too long and missing a life-saving opportunity. Tips for calling 911. Don't wait for symptoms to go away. Call 911 the moment you suspect you might be having a heart attack. Don't drive yourself. Let the paramedics come to you. It's safer, and they are trained to handle heart attacks. Know your location. If you live in an apartment or a gated community, make sure to give clear directions to emergency responders. This can save precious time. Have your phone easily accessible. Always keep your phone somewhere close by, especially if you live alone. If you're unable to speak clearly, most phones have an emergency call feature you can activate even when locked. Learn how to use it ahead of time. Have you ever had to call emergency services for a health issue? How did it feel? And what advice would you give others in a similar situation? What would you do if you had heart attack symptoms and were alone? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hesitate, every minute counts. It's natural to feel hesitant in an emergency, but when it comes to heart attacks, every minute matters. When I speak with older patients, I always emphasize the importance of calling for help right away, because so often they underestimate the severity of their symptoms. By the time they realize how serious it is, it's sometimes too late to act effectively. The truth is, many of us don't want to be a burden on our loved ones or emergency services. We think, it's probably nothing, I can wait. But I urge you to remember that heart attacks don't give second chances. If you experience any of the warning signs, don't wait to figure out whether it's a heart attack. Call 911 and get the help you need right away. In these critical moments, remember that you're never alone. Even though you might feel scared, calling 911 connects you to a team of professionals ready to help. The moment you pick up the phone, you're taking a huge step towards survival. You have the power to make the right choice and get the help you need before it's too late. 3. Chewing aspirin. A simple yet life-saving step. After you've called 911, one of the most crucial actions you can take to help yourself survive a heart attack is chewing an aspirin. It might seem too simple to make a difference, but studies have shown that aspirin can significantly increase your chances of survival in the early stages of a heart attack. Why chewing aspirin is so effective. Aspirin works by thinning the blood and helping to prevent the formation of blood clots, which are often the cause of a heart attack. When a clot blocks the flow of blood to your heart, it can cause significant damage to the heart muscle. Chewing aspirin, instead of swallowing it, allows the medication to enter your bloodstream more quickly, potentially buying you valuable minutes before emergency responders arrive. By reducing the size of the clot or slowing its growth, aspirin can prevent further damage to your heart. It doesn't reverse the heart attack, but it can limit the damage and buy you time until professional medical help arrives. The science behind aspirin and heart attacks. When you chew an aspirin, the medication is absorbed directly into your bloodstream through the tissues in your mouth, which means it takes effect much faster than swallowing a pill. The active ingredient in aspirin, acetylsalicylic acid, helps reduce the blood's ability to clot by inhibiting the action of platelets, the cells responsible for blood clotting. For someone having a heart attack, Preventing blood from clotting further can make all the difference between minor damage and a potentially fatal situation. Aspirin doesn't cure the heart attack, but it can stop it from getting worse. Let me tell you about Joe, 72 years old, who had been in good health most of his life. One morning, he suddenly felt a tightness in his chest that spread to his neck. It wasn't the intense, crushing chest pain he expected, but a discomfort that kept him from taking a full breath. He thought about calling his wife, but then he remembered a conversation he had with his doctor a few years back. His doctor had recommended always having aspirin on hand in case of a heart attack. Joe immediately went to the kitchen, grabbed a bottle of aspirin and chewed one. Then he called 911. When the paramedics arrived, his condition had worsened, but they were able to stabilize him quickly. His cardiologist later told him that the single aspirin he took likely reduced the damage to his heart and helped prevent further complications. That one small step of chewing an aspirin might have made the difference between a full recovery and a much more serious outcome. Aspirin can be that simple but powerful intervention that might save your life. When to take aspirin during a heart attack? Timing is everything when it comes to aspirin. The sooner you take it, the more likely it is to reduce the severity of the heart attack. So as soon as you suspect you're having a heart attack, don't waste any time. Grab a regular 325 mg aspirin and chew it. Don't swallow it whole. Chewing the aspirin allows the medication to be absorbed faster, providing immediate relief. If you're allergic to aspirin or take blood-thinning medication, consult your doctor about alternatives. But if you don't have any contraindications, aspirin is one of the best steps you can take to survive a heart attack. Things to keep in mind when using aspirin. 1. Always keep aspirin accessible. If you live alone, keep a bottle of aspirin in a place where you can easily reach it, like in your kitchen or bedside table. Make sure the aspirin hasn't expired, and tell your loved ones where it's located in case they need to help you in an emergency. 2. Avoid aspirin on an empty stomach. If possible, try to eat something small before taking the aspirin, as it can sometimes cause stomach irritation. But don't let this stop you if you're experiencing a heart attack. The potential benefits of taking aspirin outweigh the risks in this case. 3. Don't use coated or extended-release aspirin. If you only have coated or release aspirin available, still chew it. The key is to get it into your system as quickly as possible. Do you keep aspirin in an easily accessible place at home? If not, would you consider keeping some on hand now after learning about its importance during a heart attack? Have you ever heard of someone using aspirin during an emergency? Share their story with us in the comments. As a healthcare professional, I've seen firsthand how important it is to have simple, effective tools available in an emergency. Aspirin is something you can easily keep at home, and yet it is often overlooked. When I talk to older adults about heart health, I always emphasize the need to keep aspirin accessible. It's a small action that can save lives. In my practice, I've seen patients who survived heart attacks simply because they had the knowledge and tools to act quickly. Aspirin is one of the most straightforward and effective life-saving measures you can take during a heart attack. It's something that everyone should be aware of, especially as we age and the risks for heart issues increase. Chewing an aspirin is a small act, but it's a proven intervention. It can help slow down or stop the progression of a heart attack in the first crucial minutes. When you're alone, you don't have the luxury of waiting for someone else to help. Taking charge of your own health in those first few moments can make all the difference. Don't wait for the pain to get worse. If you suspect you're having a heart attack, take action immediately. Call 911 and chew an aspirin. Those first few minutes are critical, and this simple step could save your life. 4. Resting to protect your heart. Once you've called for help and taken aspirin, your next important task is to rest. Not move around, but sit or lie down in the safest and most comfortable position you can. In these crucial moments, it's natural to feel like you need to do something, but moving or trying to power through can cause more harm than good. Why resting is so important during a heart attack. Your heart is already under stress, and any physical activity will only increase its workload, making it work harder to pump blood. When you're already having a heart attack, every little bit of extra strain on your heart could make things worse. This is why resting is one of the most important things you can do. When you lie down or sit, your heart has a chance to stabilize and recover a little. It allows your body to use as little energy as possible while waiting for help to arrive. This might feel uncomfortable or even frustrating, especially if you're used to being active, but in the case of a heart attack, less is more. How to rest properly during a heart attack. Sit or lie down in a comfortable, supported position. Make sure your back is supported and your feet are flat on the ground, or if lying down, keep your head slightly elevated. This position helps to reduce your heart's workload. Do not try to pace around or do anything that could increase your heart rate. It's common for people to want to keep moving or take care of things, but in these moments, it's vital to stay still. It might feel counterintuitive, but resting is an active choice that gives your heart a fighting chance. If you feel lightheaded or faint, lie down on your side with your head slightly elevated. This position helps you feel more stable while preventing your heart from working too hard. Alice, 81 years old, was in her kitchen preparing dinner when she suddenly felt pressure across her chest. Her first instinct was to keep moving and clean up the kitchen, but then she remembered what her doctor had told her. If you think you're having a heart attack, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sank into her favorite recliner and waited for help. By the time the paramedics arrived, her symptoms had worsened, but Alice later learned that sitting still and not trying to do anything likely prevented her condition from escalating into full cardiac arrest. Why people often ignore the need for rest. Many seniors have grown accustomed to staying active, and stopping what you're doing can feel uncomfortable. You might feel like you're being lazy, or that there's something urgent you need to take care of. But in the case of a heart attack, not doing anything is the most powerful thing you can do. The temptation to keep moving or try to get things done comes from a place of strength and determination. But in these moments, the most powerful action you can take is to stay calm, stay still, and let your heart get the rest it needs. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you had to keep moving, even though your body told you to rest? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts with us below. Do you think you would be able to stay still if you were experiencing symptoms of a heart attack? Why or why not? As a healthcare provider, I've seen many patients who feel the need to stay active during a crisis, believing they need to keep going in order to survive. But in the case of a heart attack, taking a break is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of smart, conscious action. Your heart is already struggling, and adding stress by walking around or trying to perform tasks only increases the damage. I always remind my patients to listen to their bodies and rest when needed. It's not just about staying still. It's about allowing your heart to rest too. Resting during a heart attack might seem like doing nothing, but it's the most important action you can take. Stay calm, sit down, and let your body and heart have the time they need to stabilize. It might feel uncomfortable, but in these crucial moments, rest is your ally. By giving your heart the chance to recover, you're buying yourself time until help arrives. 5. Unlocking the door for emergency responders. When experiencing a heart attack, the most important thing you can do is act quickly and prepare yourself for help. One often overlooked but crucial step is unlocking your door. It may seem simple, but this action could save precious minutes when emergency responders arrive. Why unlocking the door can save time. Every second matters during a heart attack. When the paramedics arrive, their first task is to get to you as quickly as possible. If your door is locked, they may need to break it open to gain access. While they're trained to handle such situations, forced entry takes extra time that you may not have. By unlocking your door ahead of time, you make it easier for them to get to you immediately and begin providing the care you need without delay. Minutes matter, And this small step can make a big difference when it comes to getting timely medical attention. How to prepare your home for emergencies. 1. Unlock your door as soon as you suspect something is wrong. If you're feeling the signs of a heart attack and can still move, unlocking your door allows the paramedics to enter quickly. It might seem trivial, but it's an easy way to ensure that your response time is as fast as possible. 2. Consider the layout of your home. If you live in an apartment or gated community, make sure you have a clear plan for how emergency responders will reach you. Think about whether your door can be opened easily from the inside and whether your address is visible from the outside. 3. Keep a spare key. Whether you live alone or with others, it's important to have a spare key somewhere easily accessible in case you're not able to unlock the door yourself. Consider hiding one in a lockbox or giving a trusted neighbor or family member access to it. 4. Think about smart locks. If you're technologically inclined, smart locks offer a convenient solution. Many allow remote access through a smartphone, so you can unlock the door without needing to physically go to it. This is especially helpful if you're not feeling well enough to move. Paul, 76 years old, was home alone one afternoon when he began to experience chest pressure, dizziness, and shortness of breath. Realizing that he was possibly having a heart attack, he called 911 immediately. While waiting for help to arrive, he remembered his doctor's advice about preparing for emergencies. He quickly unlocked the front door of his condo. In under 2 minutes, Paul had called 911, taken aspirin, and unlocked the door. When paramedics arrived, they were able to walk straight in and begin treating him right away, without wasting time trying to force entry. Later, Paul learned that this simple action helped the paramedics reach him 30 seconds faster, which made all the difference in his care. He said, "That's the last thing I would have thought of, but it might have been what got me help just in time." Why people often forget to unlock the door. It's easy to forget about unlocking the door in the midst of a crisis, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed or frightened. The instinct to focus on your immediate symptoms, like chest pain or difficulty breathing, can overshadow the practical steps needed to prepare for help. But remember, time is everything, and by taking a moment to unlock the door, you're actively ensuring that emergency responders can assist you more quickly. For those who live alone, the added burden of needing to do everything yourself can be overwhelming. But small actions like unlocking the door can make all the difference and ensure that help is on the way as fast as possible. Have you ever thought about how you would grant access to emergency responders if you were home alone? Do you have a plan in place for emergencies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you keep a spare key somewhere in case of emergencies? If not, would you consider it now after learning how important it can be? As a healthcare provider, I always encourage my patients to prepare for emergencies in advance. While we can't always predict when a heart attack will strike, we can take simple steps to make the situation easier for emergency responders. Unlocking your door is one of the easiest things you can do, but it's often overlooked. I've seen time and again how small, practical steps can make a world of difference during emergencies. By thinking ahead and preparing your home, you can save critical time, especially when every second counts. Heart attacks are unpredictable and they can happen when we least expect it. But by preparing in advance, like unlocking your door or keeping a spare key, you give yourself the best chance at survival. It's a simple step that takes only a moment but can have a huge impact when help arrives. Don't wait until it's too late to think about these things. Planning ahead could be the key to getting the help you need in the critical moments of a heart attack. 6. Using your phone's emergency features. In the midst of a heart attack, your phone can become more than just a communication tool. It can become your lifeline. Whether you are waiting for help to arrive or unable to speak clearly, your phone can provide critical support. In this section, we will explore how using your phone's speakerphone and emergency medical features can save your life during a heart attack. Why your phone is crucial during a heart attack. When experiencing a heart attack, Every second counts. One of the most helpful tools you have during this time is your phone. Not only can it connect you to emergency services, but it can also provide important medical information if you are unable to speak or respond. Knowing how to use your phone's speakerphone and medical ID features can make a huge difference in getting the right care quickly. The importance of using speakerphone. Using the speakerphone feature is one of the smartest ways to communicate during an emergency, especially if you're feeling weak or unable to hold the phone to your ear. By using speakerphone, you can continue talking to the emergency dispatcher hands-free. This allows you to stay as calm and focused as possible without the need to hold the phone or press it against your ear, which can make breathing and talking more difficult. Additionally, speakerphone allows the dispatcher to hear you more clearly, especially if you become too weak to speak. If your breathing becomes irregular or labored, the dispatcher can hear it and guide you through the next steps more effectively. Using your phone's emergency medical features. In addition to speakerphone, most smartphones come with an emergency medical ID feature. This feature is often available even when your phone is locked, and it provides emergency responders with crucial information about your health, such as your name and date of birth, allergies to medications or other substances, current medications you are taking, pre-existing medical conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or high blood pressure, emergency contact information. If you lose consciousness or are unable to speak when emergency responders arrive, your phone's medical ID can provide them with life-saving information, helping them make informed decisions quickly. Susan, 79 years old, suddenly collapsed during a heart attack. Fortunately, her phone was within reach, and when paramedics arrived, they were able to access her medical ID directly from the lock screen. The ID indicated that Susan was diabetic and allergic to penicillin, which prevented the paramedics from giving her any medication that could have caused an adverse reaction. Additionally, they were able to contact her daughter immediately, thanks to the emergency contact information stored on her phone. Susan later shared, "If my phone hadn't had that emergency ID set up, the paramedics wouldn't have known about my allergies or my diabetes. I could have been given the wrong medication, and it could have made things much worse." How to set up your phone's emergency features. Setting up your phone's emergency medical ID only takes a few minutes but can make a life-saving difference. Here's how you can set it up on most smartphones. 1. iPhone. Go to the Health app. Tap Medical ID at the bottom. Tap Edit and enter your medical information, allergies, medications, medical conditions, etc. Make sure to turn on Show when locked so that emergency responders can access it even if your phone is locked. 2. Android. Open the Contacts app and find emergency information in your phone settings. Enter your medical details and emergency contact information. Make sure to enable Show Emergency Information on lock screen so responders can easily access it. Once set up, the medical information will be available to first responders even if you are unconscious, ensuring that they have all the critical details they need to treat you effectively. Do you have your emergency medical information set up on your phone? If not, will you take the time to set it up now after learning how it could help you during an emergency? Have you ever used your phone's speakerphone feature in an emergency? How did it help you stay calm and get the assistance you needed? As a healthcare provider, I cannot stress enough how important it is to set up your phone's emergency features. Many people overlook this simple step, not realizing how much it can help in an emergency. Your phone isn't just a tool for communication. It can be your lifeline, providing critical medical information and allowing you to stay connected with emergency responders. Having your emergency medical ID set up is one of the easiest and most effective ways to ensure your safety during an emergency. It takes just a few minutes, but could make a huge difference if you ever find yourself unable to speak or respond during a heart attack or any other medical crisis. In the moments following a heart attack, It can feel like everything is happening too fast. But having your phone's emergency features set up can give you a much-needed advantage. Stay connected with emergency responders. Make sure they have the critical information they need, and use your phone's speakerphone to stay calm and focused. Your phone could be the tool that saves your life. 7. Slowing your breath to steady your heart. In the midst of a heart attack, panic can easily take over. Your chest feels tight, your thoughts race, and every second feels like an eternity. But in these moments of fear and uncertainty, one of the most powerful tools you still have at your disposal is your breathing. Learning to slow your breath can help calm your nervous system, give your heart a better chance at holding steady, and buy you the precious time you need while waiting for help to arrive. Why slowing your breath is crucial during a heart attack. When we are scared or in pain, our bodies automatically enter a fight-or-flight mode, which increases our heart rate and blood pressure. This makes the heart work even harder, which is the last thing it needs during a heart attack. By consciously slowing your breath, you can help bring your body out of this stress response. Slow, controlled breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system responsible for relaxation and recovery. This helps reduce the strain on your heart and keeps your body from spiraling into shock. How to slow your breath effectively. You don't need any special breathing techniques to calm yourself. Simply taking slow, deep breaths can have an immediate impact. Here's how to do it. 1. Breathe in slowly through your nose for about 4 seconds. Try to fill your lungs completely with air, expanding your diaphragm rather than just your chest. 2. Hold your breath for a moment. This brief pause gives your body time to absorb the oxygen you just took in. 3. Exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Try to make the exhale a little longer than the inhale to help promote relaxation. 4. Repeat this process for several cycles, focusing only on your breath. If you feel your mind start to race again, gently bring your attention back to the rhythm of your breathing. By doing this, you're signaling to your body that it's safe to calm down, which can help stabilize your heart rate and reduce the overall stress on your body. Frank, 83 years old, was at home one afternoon when he suddenly felt the sharp, crushing pain in his chest. His mind raced with fear, and he felt like he was drowning in panic. But then he remembered something his doctor had taught him. When you're feeling anxious or scared, focus on your breathing. Slow your breath down and your body will follow. Frank followed his doctor's advice. He breathed slowly in through his nose, held it, and then exhaled slowly. He focused on each breath, letting go of the panic and trying to stay calm. By the time the paramedics arrived, his heart was still unstable, but it was not in full arrest. Frank later said, "I just kept thinking, stay calm, stay alive. I practiced that breathing exercise whenever I felt anxious, and it helped me when I needed it most." The science behind slow breathing during a heart attack. When we panic, our bodies produce stress hormones, like adrenaline, which increase heart rate and blood pressure. These responses are helpful in dangerous situations, but during a heart attack, they can make things worse. By slowing down your breathing, you counteract this natural stress response, lowering your heart rate and blood pressure. Slow, deep breathing helps restore balance to your autonomic nervous system and reduces the chances of your heart going into dangerous arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, that can worsen the situation. Why it's so important to practice breathing exercises before you need them. It might sound simple, but breathing exercises can make a huge difference during a heart attack, especially if you've practiced them in advance. People who already know how to control their breath are able to use it instinctively when they need it most. If you haven't practiced breathing techniques yet, I encourage you to start now. It takes only a few minutes each day, and when you're in a crisis, you'll be able to access that calm breathing much more easily. Practice regularly, and it will become second nature to you in stressful situations. Have you ever used breathing exercises to calm yourself down during a stressful situation? How did it help you? Share your experience in the comments below. Do you think you could use these breathing techniques during a heart attack? Why or why not? In my years of practice, I've seen the power of breathing exercises firsthand. It's easy to overlook something so simple, but I've witnessed how quickly breathing can change the outcome of a health crisis. When a person is in distress, having a tool like slow breathing can help them regain control and reduce the damage to their body. Even if you've never practiced breathing exercises before, I encourage you to give it a try. It's a small act that can have a huge impact during a heart attack or any other health emergency. In a heart attack, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and out of control, but slowing your breath can help bring you back to a place of calm. It gives your heart a better chance at holding steady and reduces the risk of further complications. Take control of your breathing and give your heart a fighting chance to survive. In those moments of panic, you have the power to stay calm, keep your body in balance, and buy yourself more time until help arrives. In the moments of a heart attack, everything can feel overwhelming. Time seems to slow down and you might feel helpless. But remember, even if you're alone, you still have control over the situation. The simple, easy-to-follow steps you've learned today, recognizing the signs, calling 911, taking aspirin and resting, can protect you and increase your chances of survival. The cost of hesitation could be a lifetime, but preparing and acting quickly is your best shield in those critical moments. You don't need to be a doctor or a medical expert to act correctly. You just need to know how to recognize the situation and respond at the right time. Take a moment now to reflect on what you've learned today. Are you ready? Did you realize that your actions could make all the difference? Don't let a heart attack catch you off guard without a plan. Prepare today so you can survive tomorrow. If you've learned something valuable today, share this video with your loved ones, friends, and community. We may not be able to control every situation, but we can prepare for emergencies. Share this message to save someone's life. It could be the person you love most. Thank you for watching. Always remember, every second counts, and you have the power to change the outcome in those critical moments.